Sounds good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, 5 PSA Business Solutions that will grow your integration business. Today we have with us Chris Peterson, founder and president of Vector Firm. Vector Firm is a sales and marketing consulting and training business dedicated to the security industry. Since its founding in 2010, Vector Firm has directly helped almost 100 companies improve their sales and marketing performance, including 31 PSA integrators. Vector Firm has been a PSA Business Solutions partner since 2013. Most security integration companies are enjoying success in the recent booming economy. However, many are not capturing greater market share or building a world-class sales organization that will continue to succeed when the market begins to slow. In today's webinar, Chris will demonstrate 5 PSA Business Solutions that will help you capture new market share and position your company to continue to grow regardless of the state of the economy. My name is Julie Rolls. I am the training manager with PSA, and I will be moderating today's call. I have just a few quick housekeeping items before I hand it over to Chris. If you happen to have any questions throughout the course of this presentation, please type them into the question panel, and we'll have time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. I will also be monitoring chat should you run into any difficulties, and I will do my best to get you back up and running. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris Peterson. Chris?
All right, thanks, Julie. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. If you have webcam, you don't have to show yourself, but I've found it to be more interactive when I show my webcam. So, all right. So before we jump in, I wanted to just give a quick preview of the genesis of this session and what we're going to do. Essentially, we were having a conversation. Anthony and I from PSA were having a conversation about 2 months ago. And the conversation was about my engagements with PSA clients since Vector Firm has become a business solutions partner. It's been 5 years now, and the comment I made was that what I've learned in the last 5 years is the PSA integrator is really our sweet spot. We've had the most success. I don't want to say the most, but the most consistent success. Let's say that. With the PSA security integrator than any other sector of the business. What I mean by that is we've worked with manufacturers, we've worked with some managed service providers in the IT space. It's all related to security, but it hasn't been, that descriptor that really describes what the PSA integrator is. We worked with some dealers that are more on the alarm and fire side, and where we've had a ton of success is with the system integration company. And really, it boils down to 5 different programs that we've done through our partnership with PSA, where we've had exponential success with them. And so Anthony said, well, why don't we need to get the word out. We need to let people know because we really haven't done anything since you guys joined in 2013. So that's where we are today. What I'm going to do today is at a very high level share with you those 5 programs on basically on generating new business. All 5 of them are related to that, and what they are, how much they cost, what the benefit is of being a PSA integrator and buying through PSA, and then at the end, if y'all want more information, we're sending an email to everybody when this is over, and you can just click a link and request to do a one-on-one call with us to see. More information about whichever program. This is going to be very high level to give you an idea of these 5 programs that we've had a ton of success with over those 31 companies, those PSA companies. All right. So this is just a list. I like to show everybody this slide simply because it represents who we've worked with. Now, this isn't who we've worked with from a public speaking or from a training perspective. Excuse me, meaning there are a lot of companies that are members of our academy. There are a lot of organizations I've spoken in front of, or Jamie, my partner, has spoken in front of that aren't included on here. To be included on here means that you've done some type of a program with us on a long-term basis. Some of these have done multi-year into the hundreds of thousands of dollars with us. Others have maybe done a $10,000 assessment where we've gone in and done an assessment and given them a report. And then of course, everything in between. That we've worked with almost 94 to be exact, companies since we started in 2010. Not all of them are represented here, but a lot of them are. And of those 94, 87, what's 94 minus 7? 87 have been security companies. The other 7 are just a friend of mine might be the CEO of an IT company, which happened once. Another friend of mine might be the VP of marketing at a healthcare company, which happened once. But primarily what we focus on is the security industry. So what we do, it's real simple. We help security and IT companies. And when I say IT companies, I mean managed service providers that are focusing on facilities and touch security. We help them improve their sales and marketing performance. That's it. And we do it through 4 different avenues: through sales training, through consulting programs, through marketing services, and finally through speaking. So these top 3 pictures, I'm in those. And this is Jamie here. Jamie does all of our inbound and digital marketing work for us. The problems we solve for the PSA integrator. When I say the PSA integrator, I mean the traditional is not even a good word. The progressive system integration company that is typically in their marketplace, moving forward and more progressive than the folks that lag behind. What I've narrowed this down to is 6 bullet points of problems that we're really good at solving over the last 7 or 8 years since we've been doing this. If you got a lack of new business growth, I don't mean you're not growing. I mean you're not growing with new accounts. Everyone's growing now, by the way. Everyone's having a record year right now. But are you having a record year because you're grabbing market share? Or are you having a record year because your current customers are expanding? What we've learned is it's really difficult in our space to find new business and new accounts, and we've been able to solve that problem. Salespeople that need modern day sales training, huge problem. We don't have the time as private integration companies to develop a sales training program, and the ones that are offered out there are usually out of date or they're not specific to the industry. The digital marketing content, there are so many really strong marketing companies out there in your marketplace, but they're probably weak as far as creating content. So they're really good at what they do, but they need you to write the content. And that's pretty hard. Most of you could do it if you had an extra 4 hours a week to do it. And I don't know any of you that have that, or even 6 or 10 hours a week, depending on what you want to do. The inability to sell hosted and managed services. This is a challenge, and this is a challenge that goes unaddressed quite a bit because we just think as owners and as leaders that we can do this. It's easy. It's not easy. Shifting from being a salesperson that is used to selling large projects to selling managed services has proven to be difficult. Inexperienced or part-time sales leaders, and then finally, just the guidance on the next steps. We've grown from 2 million to 7 million in the last few years. We don't know what to do next in our sales and marketing. So these are the problems that I've really narrowed down that, this is what I see out there, and this is what we've created solutions for. So how do we solve these problems? That's what we're going to talk about today, these 5 programs that we have, and it's going to be very high level. We will be done within, by 10:30 Mountain Time. First is the Sales Academy, which we're going to talk probably most about the Sales Academy. It's a virtual sales training program. We have inbound marketing services where we provide the services. We're your marketing, your inbound, your digital marketing arm. New business generation. This is not about us going out and finding new business for you. This is about us implementing a system that has been proven to help your sales team and your business development and marketing teams find new accounts and do it on your own and be able to continue to do it on your own long after we leave. Selling managed services, the image up here is of a snowball because if you can figure out how to sell these managed services, these professional services that with technology today you can provide and be a huge help and very sticky to your customers, that snowball effect happens and your recurring revenue starts to just year after year compound against itself. And then finally, we have an assessment and planning program in which we help those companies that don't quite know, where should I go next? All right, so let's talk about these programs one at a time. Again, it's going to be very high level, but I want to give you an idea. Hey, this is what these guys offer. And they offer it through the PSA Business Solutions program. We do offer this direct to clients that are not PSA members. But at the end, I'm going to show you, all right, here's the benefit of being a PSA integrator. And if you're not a member, maybe you want to consider joining. And if you are, then we can get to the point where we can talk about how exactly you purchase it and all that. So the Academy, what is it? It's real simple, folks. It's a virtual sales training program, and it delivers field-ready knowledge to salespeople. And it's also a coaching platform for leadership. It's got these characteristics to it. When I what was it, 4 years ago, sat down with Jamie and said, okay, we've got to create this virtual program where we can reach all companies, not just the companies with 100 salespeople that can pay us the fee that we need, but where a company that has 2 salespeople can join and they can pay per salesperson. What does it need to look like? Well, the first thing we came up with is it's got to be industry specific. It's got to be a training program where the other attendees are security professionals. It's got to be modern. We can't be talking about getting past the gatekeeper. We can't be talking about the 5 best closing techniques of 1991. It's got to be modern and addressing the modern day of buying and selling. It's got to be easy. If it takes your salespeople more than 90 minutes a month to take the webinars, to do the homework, to listen to the podcast, to watch the videos, they're not going to do it. We've got to deliver this information every month, and they've got to be able to take action and implement the ideas in the field, and it's got to take less than 90 minutes per month. It's got to be ongoing and virtual. In other words, it's better to every month be able to deliver material virtually using technology to where you're working 90 minutes a month getting better than it is to come in, everyone fly into Denver, everyone fly into Miami or wherever it is, and let's spend 2 days in a boot camp. Well, in 2 weeks, you forgot what we talked about in the boot camp. This is an ongoing program, and I'm going to share with you how it works in just a second. It's virtual and it's consistent. And then finally, it's got to be a management enhancer. What I mean by that, management and leaders have to enhance their skills because of this program. And that's what we've done. We've created a dashboard for managers to go in and at a glance see how their team's doing. And we give you tools and material to help coach your team on. All right, so let's go and check out what this thing is, this Academy. This is what it looks like. If you're a member, you get a login, username and password to come into the Vector Firm Sales Academy. Every month, there is a different webinar. On the second Friday of every month, we deliver a live webinar. May's topic is modern day networking. And at 10 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern, we deliver 2 different times because we have folks all the way out to Hawaii that are members. We deliver the live webinars that are recorded. And you'll notice we started this in August of last year. You'll notice that you've got all the archives right here. So if you hire someone new, for example, and you get them to join Academy, part of their onboarding could be, hey, go back and listen to watch the last 6 webinars from the Academy. Some of the ideas of topics in August, it was how to get in the door using email. Social selling for security sales professionals was in September. All of these topics are very, very narrow and very deep. We want to make sure that we don't just talk about selling. Every single month is a different topic that is very specific that you're going to walk away with ideas, like this month is modern day networking. All right, for every single webinar, there's a lesson plan. So let's look back at April's, which was modern day prospecting. When you come in, your salespeople will have a plan to go through to implement this. So the first thing they do is they complete a quiz, and then they have an exercise they go through. I'm not going to get into this too much, folks, because of time, but just know this: for every webinar, there's an exercise that your salespeople run through, and you, as a sales leader, will have this material, and you can coach them in your sales meetings to complete them. So, for example, I'm not going to go into this worksheet because we don't have time, but if I can show it to you later. This is their exercise for the month. What is your networking strategy, your social selling strategy, and your cold calling strategy to help prove that you are an expert solving this problem in the marketplace? It's that simple. It would take like 20 minutes. Sit down with the team and get them to do it. Every month there's a different podcast. So depending on the topic, I pick somebody every single month. There's a 20-minute podcast. I pick someone who is relevant to the topic. So for example, the last 2 months, in March, it was all about, the topic of the month was how to build relationships with architects, engineering firms, and consultants. Well, my podcast interview was with Ray Kalum of Security Specifiers. Many of you know Ray. He's all over the place. He's in every magazine out there. And Ray and I had an awesome conversation for about 21, 22 minutes. Joe French was this past month in April because it was on modern day prospecting. And Joe is a master prospector. Not much anymore because he owns a business now, but back in the 80s and 90s, man, he was the guy knocking on doors. And my conversation with him was how it's changed and how modern day prospecting is so much different. There's different videos every month. We do 2 videos a month. And then this is something I want to show everybody. So if you are a manager, you have a dashboard. If you've got 6 people on your team, you'll see 6 people here. And you can go in and see what each person has done for each month. All right, so for the sake of time, I'm going to get moving. But if you're interested, I can dive deep on this and run you through a much deeper a demo of the Academy. But essentially, here's what it is, folks. It is a virtual sales training platform where we develop all the content specific for the security industry, and we provide you as owners and sales leaders the material and the coaching where you can go coach them and hold them accountable. You don't have to go and create your own sales training program. All right, that's the first program. The second one that I want to talk about is inbound marketing services. The problem is very simple, folks. There's a lack of marketing companies that understand the security industry. There are a ton of great marketing companies out there, but do they know this space? No one has the time to create content. So a lot of marketing companies will talk to you about, we've got to create a blog. We got to do 1 blog post a week. We need to we need to build out your LinkedIn and your Twitter pages and put different teasers on there. We got to write an email newsletter, whatever it might be. Who writes it? And then finally, a lot of times we do a great job on the marketing side, but the sales team's not engaged. If you think about who your best brand makers are, it's your salespeople. They're the ones that are out in the field. If they're not engaged to the message that's being driven through marketing, there's a real issue. So what we've done is we have fixed those problems and created a program called the Inbound Marketing Program for Security Integrators. The first thing we do is we build a foundation. So we do some strategic planning with you. We want to know exactly what you want to do with your marketing program, what's important to you. We get into your social media sites and we refine them. We make them look professional and modern, the LinkedIn site, YouTube site, Twitter site, whatever you want to have. We do an assessment of your website. If we have to redesign your website, we'll do that. But we come in first. What's part of the foundation is we do an assessment, let you know what you need to do. We develop your personas, and then we roll out a 12-month plan for the content, and we write the content for you. Do we do it in partnership? A lot of times we do. But that's only if you have time. We write the content for you. It is specific to the industry. And again, if you're interested in how it looks, we can do a call after this. The ongoing services, we do the social media updates and the postings. We do lead generation campaigns. Again, this goes back to the strategic plan that you have. We do blogging for you. What we recommend is 1 blog post a week. And what we really like doing is writing 2 a month and having you write 2 a month. But if you can't do that, that's fine. We'll do all 4. We'll build out case studies. We'll put together email marketing campaigns. And then finally, we're HubSpot certified. So we're HubSpot resellers, and we can use HubSpot to manage everything. Excuse me, I'm getting through a cold here. If you don't want to do HubSpot, that's fine. The majority, about 80% of our customers do use HubSpot, but if you don't, we can use other tools to manage it. So that's our second tool, our second program. The third program that PSA integrators have had a ton of success with is our new business generation program. The problem, you guys know the problem. It's virtually impossible to schedule time with new customers today because we're using old methods or we're not doing it at all. Current customers, they've been growing and feeding us. So maybe we had a 20% increase last year or a 40% increase, but it's because our current customers are growing and expanding so much. What happens when that stops? And then managing and protecting current accounts, that takes up all of our time. If you ask your 6 salespeople or your 19 salespeople, how many hours do you work in every week? It's going to be high. It's not going to be 35. It's going to be 45, 55, 70. What are you doing? Well, I'm taking care of my accounts. That's mostly what we do nowadays. We have become, folks, an industry full of great account managers, but we do not hunt for, find, and win new accounts. We just don't in our industry. And a lot of people think, well, that's, it's hard to do because our customers are loyal. I'm going to push back on that comment. It's not that the customers are loyal. It's that the competitors are not very good at penetrating new accounts, and they don't. They don't try. So what our program is, the new business generation program, is very simple. It's an outbound program. Our marketing services are an inbound program. What I mean by that is we put content out into the field, out into social media, out into email, out into different areas that our customers can read, and they come in to us. An outbound program is where our salespeople go out to them and find and win new accounts. We have a very systematic approach. This isn't something where I come in and I say, okay, let's see here. What do we got? All right, we can do that. No, it's a systematic approach. We customize it to what you need, but it's a systematic approach. It's already been built and successful. It combines 4 things. It combines targeting. We find a list of the ideal prospects for you. We don't just randomly knock on doors. And then networking, social selling, and cold calling. And we put that plan together and watch out. It's amazing the results I've seen from this program just because our clients are not doing it today. Once we put a systematic approach in, the results have been over the top. We have a client we've been working with since the very end of 2016. We officially started working with them January 1 of 2017. Through 2016, they had a pretty good year, but they won, I guess you could say, 2 new accounts. This isn't a small business. 2 new accounts in all of 2016. 2. Because their salespeople were so focused on their current accounts. In 2016, the same company, same salespeople, by the way. In fact, they had 1 less salesperson in 2017. Won almost 39 new accounts. And this year, they're just killing it. And they feel much more stable because of it. And they even lost one of their huge accounts, and the new business is making up for it. I'd love to say it's because we're geniuses, but it's our system. And our system and just getting folks to be able to go out and do it. It works. All right, selling managed services. This is our 4th of 5 programs I want to talk about. The challenge is really simple. It looks like a no-brainer, right? You want to bring on a hosted access control system and provide all the managed services, manage all of their access control for them. A no-brainer. Take away responsibility from the IT department, the burden from the IT department, from the administrators. You can sell this with your eyes closed. Well, the last decade or so of failures has illustrated it's very difficult for a traditional integration sales team to successfully sell managed services. It just is. So what we have, this is actually a PSA program in which Vector Firm is a part of the program. So this isn't a Vector Firm program that is being run through PSA. This is a PSA program in which we do the sales training. There are two different types. The virtual training, 3 webinars, 1 podcast, 3 videos, and action items along the way. Private training is I will come in, do a 2-day on-site session with you. 1 day is with leadership and ownership to help you with compensation plans, help you with the type of candidate you should be looking for, maybe to sell these managed services, the way you organize your team, the way you use your CRM system to track activity. And then I spend a day with the sales team going through how to sell these services. We have playbooks and exercises that we run through for a day where they're just not just back sitting and listening to me talk. They're working through different role playing to where they understand the type of customer to look for, how to get in the door. Once they get in the door, how to present the concept of managed services and how to look for problems that are solved by managed services. Finally, the assessment and planning program. A lot of times folks just, hey, tripled in the last 5 years, and we don't know where to go next. You know what? I don't know what we need, Chris, but can you come in and look at it? This is probably our most popular, where Jamie and I both go in and we look at everything from their online presence to how they hire their salespeople. Everything that has to do with the sales and marketing program we look at. The assessment part is very important, but what I love is the planning part. All right, this is where you are right now, but where do we recommend you head? And that's what we do. The assessment part is very deep. We go in, we do an online presence assessment where we look at your search engine optimization, what you're doing in social media, what your website looks like, and we provide feedback. We do a SWOT analysis of your sales and marketing, and we utilize it. We don't just give you, okay, here's a SWOT analysis, guys, go at it. No. We then have in the plan, all right, how do we take advantage of these strengths? How do we mitigate these weaknesses to take advantage of these opportunities and eliminate these threats? And that's the plan. We do customer interviews. We do surveys internally and externally. We do interviews through phone calls. And then finally, we review all your documents and your material that you send us. After we do all this stuff, then we do a 2-day visit on site. And when I say we, it's usually just me, although sometimes Jamie comes with me. And it's important that we do that, because when I'm there and I can tell the culture, I can tell so much just from having lunch with your service team or meeting with your operations manager that handles the sales to ops handoff. There's so much from just being there. And then we deliver your strategic plan and a direction. It's a full discovery and assessment report. Let's say we give you, 41, suggestions in an assessment report. What we do at the end is we bring it down to the highest priority action items. This is absolutely these are the 3 things you have to do tomorrow. And we get very deep with those high priority items. And we provide a 12 to 24 month schedule. Here's what we think you need to do over the next 12 to 24 months in order to really take your sales and marketing team to the next level. So what's the advantages of these programs through PSA? If you're a PSA member, you might be thinking, all right, that's great, Chris, but who cares? Anyone can buy these services from Vector Firm. Well, let me share with you the advantages. First of all, you buy through PSA. So whatever terms you have with PSA and whatever, even if it's, $5,000 you pay, that's another $5,000 you're buying through PSA. And whatever terms you have with them, it makes it a little bit more convenient for you. So Sales Academy, the fees are anywhere from $32 to $48 per month per member. So let's say you got 2 salespeople, it's $96 per month for your 2 salespeople. If you're a PSA member, you get a 10% discount on no matter how many members you have. By the way, where the $32 comes from, if you have 25 or more salespeople, it's $32. If you've got 1 to 3 salespeople, it's $48. And then there's all kinds of breaks in the middle, in between those 2. But whatever it is, you still get a 10% discount by using the PSA coupon code. The new business capture program, that's a custom fee. That ranges anywhere from, maybe 6 months at $3,000 per month is not maybe, 6 months is definitely the lowest, the shortest term we can go. Typically it's around 9 to 12 months, about $3,000 or $4,000 a month. That's usually the fee, but they're all custom. The benefit here for PSA members is what we would do is come in and do a free online assessment for you. So it's important if you're going to capture new business that you know how to optimize your website and your search engine words and your LinkedIn site, what you need to be doing there. And we'll do that for free rather than charging you as a PSA benefit. The inbound marketing ranges anywhere from $2,250 to $5,000 a month. And I'll admit that the majority of our clients are closer. They're around $3,000 to $4,250. The majority of our clients are right in the middle of that. Getting up to $5,000 is you have some extreme requests. So the majority of our customers are between $3,000 and $4,250 a month for our inbound marketing services. The benefit here is we're going to train your sales staff. And you might think, so what? You're doing our blogging for us, Chris. You guys will be doing our email newsletter. What do we need to train the sales staff for? Because if we are developing a campaign over a 4-month period about why you are experts in the healthcare space and you're fantastic at knowing the HIPAA regulations and visitor management access control. I'm making that up, by the way. But let's just say that's the campaign. your sales staff needs to understand what you're doing on the marketing side so that they can utilize that same messaging to get in the door, to have conversations, to go to different networking events. They need to understand how to utilize the stuff marketing is doing to make them better. The managed services, it's $900 for the virtual program, and it's $10,500 for the live 2-day where I come on site. The benefit here is there's not really a benefit. It's PSA is the only organization that has this program, so it's exclusive to them. And then the assessment and planning is anywhere from $13,500 to $15,500. And the PSA benefit is if we do this assessment program, then we'll do an accountability session at PSA Tech together. So we'll spend 90 minutes out at, so let's say we do an assessment and planning in August and September of this year. Next March at PSA Tech in Denver, I'm not going to charge you for an accountability session, which would usually cost about $400 to $500. We'll just do it out in Denver together, and I'll hold you accountable to what we talked about, last September. All right. So the action items that I need from you guys, we're going to send an email to each of you that registered within the next 30 minutes or so. And there will be a link on there. And basically it says, hey, if you're interested in talking further with us about any of these programs, click this link. And then it'll take you to a landing page, and you pick what you're interested in, and then we'll reach out to you to schedule some time with you. Julie, any questions? How are we doing on time? All right,
yep,
we're right at 30 minutes. Good.
Yep, we're good. I did have a couple of questions that came in. The first one, are there any off-the-shelf programs, or do you customize each scenario or for each scenario?
Well, for the 5 programs, well, the Academy, of course, is, well, let me back up. So the Academy is a general sales training, so that's not customized, but everything that we do is tailored to the customer. However, we start with a program, we start with a system that works for security integration companies. So if it's the new business generation program, if it's the inbound marketing services, it's probably 85% of the way done already. It's that last 15% that we really tailor to the client's needs and exactly what we want to do there.
Okay, great. When you're in the university, what are some of the topics?
The Academy. Okay, yeah. So let's go. I'll show it to you. So the topics that we've had, actually, I'll go to the lessons. It's probably easier to read. We had getting in a door using email, social selling, how to make an immediate impact with new prospects. Coming up this Friday, by the way, I know this Friday is the 3rd Friday for those of you that are keeping track, but we had an emergency last week where we couldn't do it, is modern day networking, so how to network in 2018 and beyond. So you can see some of them, how to ask questions. November I loved. In November we did building your 2018 sales plan, and we provided a template. Here's fill in the blanks. We're going to train you how to fill in this template, and this is your sales plan for 2018. And the sales leaders loved it because they had something. And modern day prospecting, modern day network is coming is this month. We've got a session coming up on how to sell to the DIY customer or the potential DIY customer. So what we do, Julie, with our topics is we have a 6-month cycle where we start with the early stages of prospecting and networking and social selling, things like that. And we shift through the sales process essentially to the later parts, and we start over again. So every 6 months, the cycle kind of starts over again. And we'll never run out of topics because we stay very, very, very narrow. I could do a 40-minute webinar on what to do with a customer from the time you leave the lobby to go into the conference room. I mean, really, we get that detailed so that our attendees, our students, don't get overwhelmed by 50 different things. They just take away 1 or 2 things that they master that month, and then next month they do another one. And by the way, right now we have 88 members in Academy right now. So, and we haven't started promoting this yet. So we're really, really pretty pumped. In fact, this week is our first week of really promoting it to the marketplace.
Oh, this is good stuff. I think you touched on this, Chris, but I think we're looking for a little more information on, do you deliver any on-site training?
Yeah, we have custom training. In fact, the way I got the idea for Academy was through doing custom training for Security 101, Security Net, Kratos, Security, larger integration companies, where we did custom virtual training for them. In fact, Security Net I'm still working with, but it's customized. It's like the Academy, but it's customized to them, and they've got their own portal. And we both, actually, Jamie does too, but I do more of it, where we come in for a 1.5 day session with clients, and obviously that's more of an investment than $48 per month, but that's a 1 day or 1.5 day where we start in the afternoon and go through the entire next day. And it's a lot of fun. We do exercises, we do role playing, but the folks really leave pretty excited. And again, we don't try to cram down the entire world of selling. I work with the client to understand, what do you want to work on in this session, and we work on that for a day and a half. And by the way, just to let you know, because people are probably curious, to do that, to develop the content, there's a fee to develop the content, and then to deliver the content, there's another fee. So developing the content could be anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on how much they want. But delivering it is $6,500 for a day and a half. So we go in and train the sales team at $6,500. So once we develop the content one time, it's theirs. And then I've got 3 clients actually where I go in once or twice a year just to do new training. They bought the content 3 years ago, and they just pay the $6,500 to have me come in.
Excellent. This is good stuff. Well,
probably more info than they wanted to hear, but what we do is so nebulous as far as pricing. People don't know, so that's why I try to be as transparent as possible about it, to give people an idea. Oh, all right, that makes sense. Or no way, I don't know why I'm wasting time with this guy. So at least people know up front about what things cost.
Right. Well, that does look like all the questions that we had for today. If anyone would like to review this presentation again or pass it along, we'll have a recorded version of it posted soon. You can find it by visiting psasecurity.com/education. Thank you very much to Chris Peterson. Chris will be reaching out to all attendees after today's presentation for any further questions you may have. Please visit our website, that's psasecurity.com, to be sure that you're leveraging all that PSA has to offer. On our homepage, you can access our future webinar events, this recording, educational offerings, and business solutions. This will conclude today's presentation. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Julie. See ya.
Take care.